Welcome to Criminal Psychology Files. This is the continuation, the story of Aaron. Episode 2, The Notebooks. What was left behind. After the unsettling encounter in the hallway, an arrest followed. Aaron expected life to settle back, to be normal again. But normal doesn't always return on schedule. Sometimes, the quiet that follows an incident only reveals what was hidden underneath. This chapter isn't about danger. It's about the discovery. It's about the things people leave behind, the patterns they create, and the questions that rise when those patterns don't make sense. Tonight, Aaron learns that the story he thought was over has another layer waiting for him. 2 days after the arrest, Aaron received a call asking him to stop by the station. Nothing urgent, nothing alarming. Just a request for clarification. When he arrived, the detective placed a small stack of notebooks on the table. Not dramatic, not threatening, just ordinary notebooks. The kind you'd buy at any store. But each one had a name written inside. Neighbors, tenants, people who lived in the building. The detective opened one in particular, one labeled Aaron. Inside were simple observations of what Aaron normally does, his routine, such as times he left for work, when he returned, which stairwell he preferred, the days he picked up packages. Once again, nothing harmful, nothing personal, but very attentive. The detective explained that the man who had been arrested kept notes on many people, not to intimidate them, but to feel a sort of connection. It was unusual, but the police officers and the detective said this is not dangerous though. Still, something about Aaron's notebook felt different. There were more details, more thoughtful, but not caring. And that raised a question neither of them could answer yet. The man in custody has to speak with him. Not to confess anything, but just to talk. Aaron agreed, and when Aaron entered the room, the man looked calm. Not angry, not unstable, just tired. He explained that the writings that were down on the paper of his notebooks were to understand the people around. He said, Aaron, you stood out because you began to notice things of others as well. Or small details, small changes, and small patterns that you would do. Then he said something that shifted the entire conversation. I want you to know, Aaron, I wasn't the only one who kept notes. The detective paused. Aaron felt a chill through his body, but not fear, but recognition. Recognition in reference to, what is this person talking? At least that's what his body read. The man began to speak again. Is he, someone else in the building, watches people too? Someone quieter than me. He didn't say it dramatically. This is how he spoke. He didn't say it as a warning. He said it was just simply true. A few nights later, Aaron would return home after staying with a friend for a little bit, kind of ease his anxiety. And when he returned home, he found a small envelope on the welcome mat. There was no handwriting, no name, just inside a typed message. You're looking in the wrong direction. It wasn't threatening. It wasn't emotional in a sense. It was, though, an observation of me. The detective suggested it might be a coincidence. Perhaps someone is playing a joke after hearing about the arrest and all the stuff that's been going on lately with the police passing by in the day of the arrest. Aaron had a disagreeing feeling. He knew the tone. It didn't match the man in custody, granted. This was someone else. Someone who understood the situation much more deeply than just a random joke. Now, over the next week, Aaron noticed subtle things around the building. As he would go down the hallway, he would notice the door closing softly when he walked by. He noticed in the shadows someone stepping out of the view near the mailboxes. Someone shifting through door to door, passing through the laundry room when I was in it, but I couldn't make them out. Was this my paranoia or anxiety? There was nothing alarming, nothing dangerous, but there was a presence. The same kind of presence I sensed before. But this had a different energy. It's more controlled. It's more deliberate, as if they want this to happen. I mean, definitely more practice. This wasn't someone trying to be seen, though. This was someone who knew how not to be seen. And as the evenings passed, a particular evening, Aaron came home only to find another envelope taped to his door. Inside was a single sheet of paper torn from a notebook, but not the same kind the first watcher used. The paper was different. The ink and the style of the writing were also different. And it said, "Some people observe to feel less alone. Others observe to understand." On the back there was more. "You notice things. And that's why I am interested in you." It wasn't admiration. It wasn't a fixation, but definitely an analysis. Someone is studying me. But they seem emotionless, but intelligent. Just the way they structure things on the paper. Calm, cool, and collective. Aaron brought the page to the detective. She studied it carefully. "You're right, this isn't the same person. The tone is different. And I sense the intention is different as well." Aaron nodded. He agreed. "I think this person has been here longer than the first one." The detective also agreed. I won't dismiss that. She asked, "Do this from me. Walk me through everything you've noticed. Any small movements, any quiet shifts, any subtleties." And as he spoke, she grew more thoughtful. Concerned. The second watcher wasn't copying the first. First watcher had been copying the second. Aaron left the station with more clarity and more questions. The notebooks weren't the end of the story. They were the beginning. Someone else had been observing the building long before the man in custody ever started. Someone's been patient, very methodical. Someone who understood people in a way that felt, well, almost clinical. And now that the first watcher was gone, the second one had stepped forward. But at this point, not to threaten, at this point, not to frighten, but possibly like the other, to be understood. After all, the first one was observing the second one, following their way. But in part 3, we will reveal the truth behind the second observer and why Aaron was the one that they both chose. Coming up, the final episode on Criminal Psychology Files.